Hey everyone, and welcome back. So actually doing a video on a Monday for once, when I'm making it. I don't know, depending on when you're watching it. But I definitely have a lot of announcements to get to. But I'm going to cover them kind of quick. So I'm going to speed through a couple of the details. But we do have the announcements now for Vinegar Syndrome for the month of July. We do have one quick announcement from Kino, which I'm going to get to in just one second. And we do have the September announcements from Scream Factory. So a lot to get here, so I'm just going to dive right in. So first up from Kino is an announcement of a 4K release of the movie Graveyard Shift. Now, that was put out by Scream Factory about 4 years ago or so on Blu-ray, and now Kino is putting out in 4K. Now, no further details just now. It's just that it is in the works and coming probably later this year. So no news on extras or anything. Although a couple of the past releases that they've done have actually ported over most, if not all, of the extras that were on the previous Scream Factory release. So we could actually get the same extras. So anyway, so when details on that get announced, obviously I'll cover that in a future video. Now we move over to Vinegar Syndrome. Now Vinegar Syndrome is having their subscriber week sale thing going on this week through the end of July 7th. So each day they're going to have a couple of new things on sale only for that day. So I do encourage you to go back each day and just kind of see what's on sale. Plus a couple of new announcements coming from some of their sub-labels that are coming a little bit later in the week. I think one of them actually might be coming tomorrow and then another one towards the end of the week. But they at least did announce their three main titles for this month. Oh, and I do want to mention real quick, there's also the week that you can, if you want to, sign up for their subscriber for, the 6-month subscriber option, which, I do the yearly one, which is due in January now. If you want to just do the rest of the year, that is up right now and only up for available for this week. So as far as the three main ones go, there's two double feature Blu-rays and then one 4K release. So first one is a double feature Blu-ray of two Mexican films, and it is region free as well, and it contains the two films Intrepidos Punks and Vengeance of the Punks. Let's see, both from 1987, will be in the original Spanish mono with new transfers from their original camera negative, including some making of documentaries, and it is up for pre-order right now for $32.99 on the Vinegar Syndrome website. Next up is another double feature, also region-free Blu-ray of A Chinese Torture Chamber, Story 1 and 2. Part 1 from 1994 and Part 2 from 1998. Both of them have been scanned in 2K from their original camera negatives, and they do come with a bunch of commentary tracks, some interviews, trailers, and it also has an alternate 92-minute Mandarin language edit of a Chinese torture chamber story. I believe the first one, right? Yeah, of the first one. So the original version is actually 93 minutes and the Mandarin version is actually 92 minutes. And then the third title is a 4K release of the Danish-American production of Reptilicus, right? Am I pronouncing that right? I think so. I think I'm pronouncing that right. From 1961. It's going to be a 3-disc set with a 4K disc and two Blu-ray. Now, the two Blu-rays included are going to be Region A locked, though. So just as a heads up on that, for all of you outside of Region A. It does have a new 4K transfer from the original camera negative, and we'll actually have an alternate cut, but on Blu-ray only. So the original running time is 82 minutes, but it will actually have a alternate 95-minute Danish version of the film, but again on Blu-ray only. Plus a commentary track and a couple of retrospective pieces on it. So again, I'm sorry I'm sort of jumping through this real quick. And pressed for time. I know I've said that before, and I do apologize, but I do want to move along. Anyway, that's it for the Vinegar Syndrome. Regular stuff. Again, there's more stuff coming from their sub-labels kind of throughout the week. Now, I don't know which day yet this week I can sort of cover those. If anything, definitely by the end of the week. I think by the end, hopefully, everything has been announced. But, I don't know. I'll see. I'm playing this week by ear just a little bit. So now we move on to the Scream Factory announcements for September. And there's actually some interesting ones here. So first up, we're getting a Steelbook release of Creepshow, the 4K of Creepshow, which is actually just a re-release of the Steelbook that was out last fall, I think, which was originally a Walmart exclusive, but now they're just re-releasing it so you can get the Steelbook anywhere. And I never picked it up, so I'll probably pick it up at some point, maybe like at a sale or something from Amazon or whatever. Set for September 3rd, and retails for $39.98. I'm sure it'll be a lot cheaper. And it's basically it's the exact same release, just in a Steelbook. And the next one, also a Steelbook, is a Blu-ray release of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey in a limited edition Steelbook, retailing for $36.98. And again, any Blu-ray release from Scream, Shout Factory is always region A locked. So just, again, heads up on that. Next up, now we start getting into the 4K releases. So we got a couple of interesting ones. So first up is a 4K release with an included Blu-ray of the movie The Boy, retailing for $39.98. 4K disc will only have the film, but it will have a new commentary track on it, and then the included Blu-ray, obviously the film, with a commentary track, as well as a couple of interviews, including one with the director, one with the writer, one with the cinematographer, one with the doll designer, as well as one with the doll handler, and the theatrical trailer. That's one of those two. If you order it from Scream Factory, it comes with a poster of that. Now again, that's a website exclusive, but the movie itself you can get from anywhere. Next up is a 4K release of the Amityville Horror remake, the one starring Ryan Reynolds, also set for September 3rd. And retails for $39.98. Looks like it mainly ports over all of the extras that were on like the probably old Blu-ray release of it. So the 4K disc will only have a commentary track, and does port over an existing commentary track with Ryan Reynolds and the producers Andrew Form and Brad Fuller. And then disc 2 does have one new extra on it, at least. It's Houses Don't Kill People, revisiting the Amityville Horror, featuring interviews with director Andrew Douglas and composer Steve Jablonsky. Other than that, ports over, again, the commentary track, some deleted scenes, a making of, some home movies, and a theatrical trailer. And some of you may remember the original Amityville Horror was actually put out in 4K from Vinegar Syndrome 2 years ago? Was it 2 years ago? Was it 3 years ago? I don't know. It's out there if you haven't gotten it yet. Next up, coming September 10th, retailing for $39.98, is a 4K release of the movie The Strangers. And this is actually going to be a 3-disc set, so it'll be a 4K with 2 included Blu-rays. Now the 4K disc will be of the unrated version, and the 4K disc will also only have the movie. So the first Blu-ray will have the theatrical cut, as well as a couple of featurettes, some deleted scenes and trailers, and then the second Blu-ray, or the third disc on the set, depending on how you want to look at it, is also of the unrated cut, and then a couple of other like behind the scenes and interviews as well. And the running time between the two is 86 minutes from the theatrical, 91 minutes on the unrated. And speaking of unrated and theatrical, the next one, which I'm actually really excited about on one end, but also unfortunately a little bit disappointed, is coming September 17th, is a 4K release of the movie Doomsday, the Neil Marshall film. I really like this film. I actually never thought I would get this film in 4K. This one is actually really exciting for me. Let me just say real quick, retails for $39.98. Unfortunately, so it's a 3-disc set, 4K and 2 Blu-rays. The 4K is only of the theatrical and not of the unrated cut. The unrated cut is only on one of the Blu-rays, and the running time between those two is 109 minutes versus 113 minutes. And at least it does port over extras that were on the old Blu-ray release, but does actually have a couple of new extras. Included a new commentary track, a new interview with Neil Marshall, a new interview with the producer, one of the actors, the production designer, and the special makeup designer, as well as composer Tyler Bates. Oh, and one more interview, which is on the third Blu-ray, which has the unrated cut. Did I say that? I'm sorry. The second Blu-ray has the theatrical cut and all these extras. The third Blu-ray has the unrated cut with the older extras, but it also has a new interview with actor Adrian Lester. The weird thing is, so the unrated cut, so both the theatrical cut and the unrated cut both have 4K scans. So I don't know why the unrated cut couldn't also be on 4K. That's kind of one of those where, like, if they didn't have a 4K version, I can understand. Like, it would suck, but I was like, I can understand it. But if it has a 4K version, why not put that on there? I mean, and I almost assume you could almost do the branching between the two. So I don't know. Excited to have Doomsday on 4K. Kind of disappointed it's not the unrated cut, unfortunately. Not the end of the world, but still, I can complain a little bit, right? And the next two are 4K upgrades, but in my opinion, very worthy of 4K upgrades because, let me just get to them. So first up, coming September 10th, retailing for $39.98, is a 4K release of the movie The Stepfather. Will be a 2-disc set, a 4K disc, and a Blu-ray. The Blu-ray will actually have the older extras on it, including the commentary track with the director, but it actually does have a couple of new extras, a couple new commentary tracks, which will also be on the 4K disc. So a commentary track with Jill Sholin and filmmaker Jackson Stewart, one with film critic Megan Navarro, and one with film critic Keir Gomes. And the commentary tracks will also be on the Blu-ray, as well as a new interview with Jill Sholin, which is really, really cool. This is one that really needed a new transfer. The original Blu-ray, which was like a really early one for, I think it was still Shout Factory only. Like, I think before Scream Factory even existed. It wasn't great. Like, that transfer, was very soft, and it just wasn't really that good. I mean, it almost looked like it was a DVD, up convert kind of thing. It wasn't, but it just kind of had that sort of appearance. Long overdue for a new transfer. This is one that I am really happy they are. It is a brand new transfer, a new 4K restoration. So I can't wait to see this one in 4K. And this one is, again, definitely one that needed an upgrade. So I'm okay for a, double dip on this one. And then finally, this is definitely one that would be an easy one for me, is a 4K upgrade of John Carpenter's Village of the Damned. Obviously, any John Carpenter film getting a 4K release, obviously I'm up for it. Set for September 24th, retailing also for $39.98. Same thing, 4K disc with included Blu-ray, and it actually will have a couple of new extras, and we'll have a new 4K transfer from the original camera negative. I'm going to get to that in just a second, and also it has a new commentary track with filmmakers Jackson Stewart and Francis Galuppi, and the included Blu-ray, which will have some of the pre-existing extras that were on the previous Scream Factory release, but it does actually have two new interviews, one with the screenwriter and one with film music historian Daniel Schweiger. And again, just like The Stepfather, the original Blu-ray release that they put out several years ago used a very old HD transfer for that. Like, it was an HD transfer that was created for the DVD going even further back, because it had some of those DVD issues that existed at the time in HD masters that were made for DVD, where they had artificial sharpening and a couple other things. So this one definitely needed, just like Stepfather, needed a new transfer. Really happy. Again, another one that definitely deserves a 4K upgrade, and also the fact that they are putting in some new extras. I think my stomach just growled because I haven't eaten yet. I'm going to wrap this up so I can go eat. So with Village of the Damned, there are actually two bundle options, which are Shout Factory website exclusives. First one coming in at $39.98 is a version that comes with an extra slipcover as well as an extra poster. So you get recreation of the original one sheet, plus you get this extra slipcover with new artwork and a poster with that artwork as well. And you also have another option, which is probably the one I'm going to go to, even though it's really don't want to spend that much right now, but it's a clocking in at $74.98. That's mainly why I'm kind of like, but I'm gonna have to. Same thing, it comes with obviously the regular release with the poster of the original one sheet, as well as the alternate slipcover with the poster of that one, and it comes with a 7-inch vinyl featuring 2 tracks from the film, newly composed by John Carpenter. So that's obviously the one I'm going to go to. I know these are, not sure how limited these two bundles are. It doesn't say anything on the website, but usually they're around, what, like 500 or something like that. But again, it doesn't say, so I don't know. Anyway, that's it for these announcements. I'm sorry I'm kind of rushing through this, but kind of have to get moving. Plus my stomach's growling, so I got to go eat something. So let me know your thoughts on these. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them as best I can. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Good Lord, my stomach is growling all through that thing.